what's going on, guys? In this video, I want to talk to you about how to get your agency into a VMS, otherwise known as a vendor management system. Now, this has been a topic that a lot of people have been asking me about. It's like the creme de la creme in recruiting. If you can get yourself into a VMS, generally you can get a lot of positions. That means a lot of money. And oftentimes when you can do this, it's meaning really, really good success for your recruiting agency. So let's talk about how we can actually penetrate the VMS, get in there, maybe multiple VMSs, and have the opportunity to place a lot of people. All right, so I have found that there are effectively two ways that you can get into a VMS. And that is by establishing a strong relationship with either the VMS itself, someone at the VMS, or the parent of the VMS, meaning the company or corporation or whoever runs the VMS for the company, right? So oftentimes it's healthcare that has VMS going on, or oftentimes it's large corporations like Nordstrom or whatever it might be, because they have so much volume and they have so much need that they just pass it along to a VMS, and you need to go through the VMS, right? So VMSs are like big gatekeepers for companies that you want to get into and start placing like lots and lots of people. So strong relationships, how do we do it? Let's jump right in. Okay, so first things first is research. You're not going to get anywhere without doing your research, right? Do your homework. When you want to get into a VMS, some particular VMS, maybe it's healthcare, right? You need to do your research and understanding exactly how that VMS works, right? Identify a specific VMS, identify a few specific ones, and then understand how they work, like what they require, you know? All of them have different requirements. All of them have the bar set differently. Some maybe minimally, some maybe super high, super hard. Like the VMS to get into Apple or Google or something like that, that's like a way harder VMS than it would be to get into, per se, some sort of like low tier healthcare facility, right? So do your research and understand exactly what it is that you need, right, as an agency to bring to the table to be able to penetrate the VMS and become a preferred vendor. All right, so getting into a VMS is not a walk in the park. You've got to have some notches on your belt, right? You've got to been around the block. Like, you have to have done the thing. You needed to have made a lot of placements doing what you do in your niche, and you need to be able to show that off, right? So when you are trying to get into a vendor management system, you need to show that, right? So you need to show that you're capable of actually producing the individuals, the candidates, the people that they want to hire, right? They don't want to mess around with people that don't know what they're doing. So you need to actually show off that you can do what you say you can do, right? So they're not even going to take you seriously unless you actually prove it, right? Prove it to them that you have the capacity, you have a team, you have the ability, all of that, right? Generally, a one-man or one-woman show is not going to get into a VMS. It's just generally how it goes, right? A team is generally required, and you're going to have a track record, right? So a track record and industry experience, industry expertise, and history of volume placements is definitely going to be a requirement. Oh, and if I haven't mentioned it in this video yet, there are plenty of people inside my free Facebook group, Recruiter Empire, link in description, that can help you craft a value proposition on how to get into a VMS. So if you haven't already, click the link in the description, join Recruiter Empire, and you will find 16,000 recruiters that have absolutely been in VMSs. So you can definitely find some experience there. Let's get back into it. All right, so getting into a VMS is a little bit of a networking game as well, right? So it's not like you're gonna bump into the head of a VMS on the corner of a street, right? You're going to need to go to a conference, a job fair, or some sort of meetup, right? Something where you're going to actually network and meet with the head of a VMS, right? Or maybe somebody who is in touch with the head of VMS. It doesn't matter, right? Whatever it is, the person that you can connect with is going to be pivotal, because that person is who you're going to be able to convey your value proposition to, convey your information to, like phone number, email, etc., right? Like, you got to connect with somebody at some point, right? That's networking. So you're going to need to go out of your way to go to these things and go to these actual events and connect with people. It's not all going to be LinkedIn. It's not all going to be cold email. It's not going to be that stuff. This is really, really serious. When you become a preferred vendor for a VMS, it means a big deal. Like, these are multi-million dollar situations. When you become a preferred vendor, you're going to be able to place a lot of people for that VMS. So when that's said and done, this needs to be built on a solid relationship. That relationship is going to start with you networking. All right, so the next step after that is to apply. Like, these VMSs have applications, right, that you go through. And you need to literally apply, right? You need to tick all the boxes. You need to fill out applications. You need to show proof of your team, show proof of your experience. Like, you need to actually apply, like, as if you are going to, become a preferred vendor. So you need to apply just like anyone else to their system, right? So that means just showing them exactly everything that you're going to be able to bring to the table and check their boxes, make the application, put it in, and let them take a look at it, let them contact you, and let them start that conversation with you. And we'll talk about follow-up here in a second, but you absolutely need to apply, right? Networking, the relationships, all that stuff's good, but you, at the end of the day, absolutely need to apply to become a preferred vendor for a VMS. Did I mention that you should provide references? That's going to be paramount for you. When you apply for a VMS, you should absolutely provide references that you can lean on to prove that you've placed as many people that you have placed, that you have the capability to produce as many candidates as they need, right? Because at the end of the day, they can take your word for it, but they want references. They want people they can lean on. They want people that can actually vouch for what you're saying, right? So when you apply to get into a VMS, they're definitely going to want references. They're definitely going to want some history behind what you say you can do. So this is a pivotal part of the process. Definitely have that stuff prepared. Definitely have that documented, and have references just on hand. It's always a good thing. All right, so this is going to be a slow process. All right, VMSs are not going to be very speedy when you apply for them, right? They're not going to just get right back to you and say, yeah, we want to do business with you. Sounds great. Like, it's not always going to happen like that. It could, but it's generally not going to happen like that. A lot of people are applying to be in that VMS, and they're looking through everybody, checking references, checking everything, making callbacks, doing all kinds of interviewing and things like that, right? So with that being said, just be encouraged, right? Understand that you did apply, and here's the thing that you can do. Follow up, right? Just like you follow up in recruiting and in everything, follow up with the VMS just to make sure your application is in process and the status that it's in, right? Find out where you're at, what next steps, what do you need from us? Like, what can we do to move this thing further along, right? Squeaky wheel always gets the grease, right? So basically follow up with them until you figure out what's going on. If you're in, out, what's up, right? Follow up. Guys, listen, at the end of the day, to summarize it up, getting into a VMS is not an easy feat, and not a lot of recruiting or staffing agencies do it. But the ones that do make a lot of money by making a lot of placements. So to give you a few quick tips, network with the best of the best, right? The heads of these VMSs. Communicate with them well. Give them a good value proposition. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Make sure that you follow this thing all the way until the end, until you get into that VMS. And once you do, you're going to be golden. You're going to be set, right? And then you're going to get into another VMS. Oh, hey, one last thing. If you did not join my free Facebook group, 16,000 recruiters, Recruiter Empire, link in description. Join the Facebook group. I guarantee it'll help you out. With that being said, I'll see you in the Facebook group. You'll see me in my next YouTube video next time.